At just 15 years old, Miles Russell didn't just impress, he redefined dominance, becoming the youngest ever to win the AJGA Player of the Year, a title usually claimed by seasoned 17-year-olds already fielding college offers. Wasn't a fluke, it was the fulfillment of sky-high expectations. With a swing as precise as it was powerful and a composure beyond his years, Miles turned junior golf tournaments into masterclasses, not competitions. He wasn't just playing, he was teaching, week after week. He racked up victories in events like the Junior PGA Championship, the Rolex Tournament of Champions, and the Elite Team TaylorMade Invitational. His name became a fixture at the top of leaderboards, almost like it had permanent residence. But the more he dominated, the more rivals stopped admiring and started aiming. Coaches and analysts alike speak of him in terms usually reserved for pros to already more polished than many college seniors, with the patience and poise of a veteran. His swing never buckled, his short game was effortless, and his course management seemed born from yardage books, not bedtime stories. In the world of junior golf, Miles wasn't just another rising star, he was the benchmark. Everyone else measured themselves against him. But what happens when someone finally shows up who brings both chaos and raw talent into the equation? Mimic his tempo, and prayed for a front row seat to watch him dismantle a course. For the past 2 years, this was Miles Russell's territory. Everyone else just guests hoping for scraps. That is until someone crashed through the gate without knocking. But dominance in golf, like in life, comes with an expiration date. You never know when or who will rewrite the script. And in this story, the rewrite came with the last name Woods. From the moment he first teed it up in public, Charlie Woods wasn't just a junior golfer. He was Tiger Woods' son. The spotlight didn't wait for him to earn it. It followed him like a shadow he never asked for. Every swing, every twitch, every pre-shot routine was analyzed by a sports world thirsty to crown the next one. Golf fans weren't just watching Charlie. They were expecting a sequel to greatness. But in golf, your name only gets you so far. The scorecard tells the truth, and at first, the truth was mixed. There were moments of brilliance, tight iron shots, fearless putts poised beyond his age. But they came between missed cuts, frustrating rounds, and the awkward growing pains of being 14, then 15 with a camera in your face and the entire golf world whispering about potential. Charlie wasn't just competing against other juniors, he was fighting against a legacy, against a name. And when you're trying to make your own path, that shadow only grows heavier. Then came the 2024 AJ Team TaylorMade Invitational, and everything changed. No distractions, no headlines, just golf. Charlie locked in and delivered, carding a jaw-dropping final round 66, blowing past names that had defined junior golf for years, including one name at the top, Miles Russell. This wasn't a feel-good moment. It was a statement. The kid wasn't chasing the hype anymore. He was chasing wins. In the words of his Golf Monthly put it, this was the tournament where Charlie Woods finally stepped out of the shadow and into the spotlight on his own terms. And they were absolutely right. This wasn't Tiger Jr., this was Charlie. Focused, fearless, and ready to prove himself. It wasn't about the name on his back anymore. It was about the scorecard in his hands. For the first time, Miles Russell wasn't the only name to watch on the leaderboard. A new contender had arrived, and he didn't come to blend in. He came to disrupt. Qualifier at Eagle Trace Golf Club wasn't meant to be headline material. It was supposed to be just another checkpoint on the road to the U.S. Junior Amateur Championship, a filter to separate the best from the rest. Everyone assumed Miles Russell was a lock. His name was practically printed on the bracket. Charlie Woods. He was barely in the conversation, until it came down to one final playoff spot, and Charlie turned that pressure into a statement. In a nerve-wracking winner-takes-all playoff, he delivered a flawless tee shot, a laser-like approach, and 2 clutch putts that never wavered. He didn't just earn a spot, he seized it. As AmateurGolf.com noted, Charlie Woods earned his way to the U.S. Junior Amateur the hard way. The crowd reaction was electric. Social media exploded. Reddit lit up with posts like, "Say what you want, the kid has nerves of steel." This wasn't hype, it was real. Charlie didn't get a free pass. He fought for every inch and claimed the final slot in one of junior golf's most competitive fields. And make no mistake, when Charlie won that playoff, something shifted. Miles Russell still had the resume, the titles, and the spotlight. But now, for the first time in a long time, he wasn't alone at the top. Suddenly, someone was in the rearview mirror closer than anyone expected. Charlie Woods had been grinding quietly, learning, evolving. He didn't just slip into the tournament, he slammed the door shut behind him, and the sound echoed across the junior golf world. For the first time, the question wasn't, is Charlie good? It was, is Charlie coming for Miles next? And what happened next made that question feel like prophecy, because when the pressure arose, Charlie didn't blink. The Team TaylorMade Invitational wasn't supposed to be a battlefield, it was tradition, a showcase for the nation's best junior talent, where players like Miles Russell were expected to shine, to dominate, to reinforce their legacy. It was his turf, his leaderboard, his moment to own, and in a field that stacked Most expected Charlie to simply hang on. But Charlie didn't come to follow. He came to take over. As the weekend intensified, others wavered. Charlie ignited. His final round 66 wasn't just impressive, it was clinical. Fairways were laser straight, irons dialed in, putts dropped like clockwork. It wasn't flash, it was focus. And watching it all unfold, somewhere on that course, was Miles Russell. Charlie didn't just win, he beat the best. Golf Monthly put it bluntly. Charlie would silence his critics with a statement win over an elite field. Social media lit up. Reddit Twitter fans weren't talking hype anymore. They were talking shift. Charlie had just walked into Miles's house and taken the keys. This wasn't a feel-good moment, it was a power move. For the first time, junior golf had two alphas, and with that final putt, the entire landscape changed. Charlie Woods was no longer just a prodigy with a legendary name. He was a real threat, kind who doesn't ask for permission, the kind who doesn't blink, the kind who makes even the bestiest, even Miles, glance over their shoulder. It was no longer Miles versus the field. It was Miles versus Charlie. That leaderboard said it all out and clear. For the rest of the season, it wasn't just competition anymore, it was personal. Because when two titans share the same territory, one eventually has to move. For years, the spotlight had only one name etched into it, Miles Russell. He was the face of junior golf, the standard, the storyline. But now a new chapter is being written. Charlie Woods isn't knocking on the door anymore. He's already inside, bag in hand, ready to stay. What used to be Miles versus the field has evolved into something far more electrifying, a shared spotlight, rising tension, and a rivalry in the making. When two stars burn this bright, there's no space for shadows. As Golf Monthly put it, Charlie's recent performances have shifted him from promising prodigy to serious contender. No disclaimers, no sugarcoating. This is a reshuffling of junior golf's hierarchy, where last names no longer define legacies and numbers on the scoreboard do. And right now, those numbers are loud. Even Tiger Woods, often reserved when speaking about his son, couldn't hide his pride. He's learning, he said after Charlie's win. He's figuring out how to compete, not just swing a club. That wasn't just a compliment, it was confirmation. A mindset shift. Charlie isn't observing from the sidelines anymore. He's learning in real time, while winning. But don't count Miles out. He's not fading, he's still elite, still hungry, still the one to beat. For now, the only difference is, every tee time now feels like a duel. Every round, a new chapter in what's fast becoming golf's most thrilling rivalry. Something is building a clash, a storm, a fight for the throne. So the real question is, does Miles defend his reign, or has Charlie already begun his own era? One thing's certain, the throne is no longer empty.